Many often confuse the word data and information in communication technology. Both computer needs data while human beings need information. And data is a building block while information gives meaning to context. This kind of mix-up also exists in differentiating between stealing and corruption, which many agree that sentiment and special interests have made some to deliberately mix them up. After a thorough searching for the meaning of the word corruption, there is no search engine that defines corruption as stealing.
Under the criminal code, which is applicable in the South, and under the penal code, which is applicable in the North, both provisions envisage a situation of taking something that does not belong to you without the person's consent. Corruption doesn't necessarily entail, proprietary benefit to yourself. People who are busting our gas pipelines, for instance, that is sabotage. That is a corrupt practice. Remember that puncturing those gas pipelines, they're not stealing gas.
Stealing is taking what does not belong to you, either secretly or by force. Whereas corruption, the dictionary defines it as using one's power to gain illegitimately. They are two different things entirely, and people are mistaking them. And the laws are clear on it. I mean, they cannot try someone for stealing, with the laws governing corruption.
Largely, most of the collapse as a result of not in conformity with set standard of engineering practices. So those are also practices those are corrupt practices. But if you go to stealing, you are using it to go to pick up something that does not belong to you.
If it is now clear to a greater extent the difference between these two words, the question remains that, is corruption limited to public service alone?
No. Corruption has spread across all sectors, including the family in the house, also in schools.
Go to so many villages. Somebody who left the village like 2 months back is coming with a fleet of cars. The next thing you hear, they will confer chief assistant to the person. Before, people were like, hi, this one is an armed robber. Who did you kill? How did you make your money?
In philosophy, theology, and moral discussion, research has it that corruption is moral and spiritual, and even deviation from an ideal which can be regarded as failure in service delivery.
To a great extent, especially when such failure is occasioned by an intent, when there's a deliberate intention, to withhold service.
We have people who are not being called by God to the service. So if one is not being called to the ministry, such people, they can do whatever thing that pleases them. If they have any other business somewhere, they can leave this one and go there. Whatever thing that pays them or that gives them the expected reward is what they are going to dabble into.
Recently, the federal government directs all pump stations in the country to sell premium motor spirit PMS at the rate of 87 naira from 97 naira per litre. But many buyers were shortchanged, and it took the efforts of the Weights and Measures departments of the Ministry of Trade and Investments to tackle this act.
Using this flow meter here, if you pay for 20 liters worth of fuel, what you are getting is 18.3.
Some parents are of the opinion that a child will be cared for in school based on how well parents can give to teachers.
If a teacher is giving your child more attention, other than because he has educational values that has been seen in him and trying to bring that out of the child to make him a better child or to distinguish him from the others, but out of the fact that the father is a governor or the mother is a good charity giver, that's corruption, period.
In order to curb this act, the federal government of Nigeria put in place some institutions such as EFCC, ICPC, and Standard Organizations of Nigeria to check, balance, and even take legal action against anybody found guilty.
EFCC and the ICPC, they are doing very well. We want them to do more in the fight of corruption. Also, we need attitudinal change among Nigerians to change to desist from dishonest behavior.
If one of the major functions of the media is to educate, then it must be made clear that there is a thin line between stealing and corruption, no matter the context of the definition. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday, NTA News.